A judge has stopped Mayor Bloomberg's order, his ban on any sugary drinks, any sodas over 16 ounces. And the judge called the ban arbitrary and capricious.
Now, this wouldn't have banned all sugary beverages because it was passed through an executive branch of the New York city government, right? It was pretty much Bloomberg and his health department who he put in place, banning this, thus the ability for 7-Eleven to still sell their 64-ounce big gulps, and that's kind of a little bit of a not universal playing ground in that playing field, and that's why the judge ultimately struck this down. Now, you have Bloomberg coming out saying that the ruling was totally in error. Anytime you adopt a groundbreaking policy, special interests will sue. And so you come out thinking, okay, if this isn't good, even though he's used this to go after smoking and a few other public health
he's banned styrofoam smoking in public parks and restaurants.
Right. So, what's the way to actually get something like this implemented? Well, if the council would have done it, then it would have been more of a universal ban. And so you have the beverage industry now, after this ruling, looking and saying, okay, well, the real way they can go after this is through higher taxes on sugary beverages. And that's what people in the sugary beverage industry are really afraid of.
The special interest groups who sued are Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, and Dr Pepper Snapple, of course. Now, there's two different ways to go about doing this, right? There's taxation, there's passing legislation, and then there's also educating the people. And I would make the argument that Mayor Bloomberg is doing a terrific job putting this ban in place, and he's not going to stop to push this ban through because he was also sued when he tried to put the smoking bans in place, and he managed to get those into law, eventually get those into law. And I would also make the argument that by placing a ban on these drinks, you are doing a whole lot to educate people through the bans, because you have younger kids who can't buy sodas and they ask themselves why, and that's a simple, just doing that adds a lot to the public discourse and just in an individual's mind as to, well, why can't I have that, or why is that banned? And then they go and they do research and it's like, oh, that's right, because it's doing a tremendous damage to people's health in terms of diabetes and healthcare.
And it's not just kids, right? I mean, it's adults have a huge obesity problem
absolutely.
all across the country, not just in New York City.
I didn't want to focus on one segment there of people, but yeah, you're right.
So what do you guys think about the ban on sodas, whether it should go through, whether it shouldn't, or the other methods that they can try and deal with the soda-causing obesity problem in the United States and in New York City specifically?
And if you're like us and you kind of agree, well, I don't want to speak for you, but I think we're kind of both in agreement of this ban. Pepsi-Cola, Coca-Cola, and Dr Pepper Snapple are companies who we won't be doing business with in the near future.
We're trying to decrease our soda intake. We see how bad it is. We have decreased our soda intake. So again, that's another element to the story. How much soda are you still consuming, even though study after study shows how bad it is for you?